it's Charlotte and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you 20, I don't know why I held up 10 fingers. Today I'm going to be showing you 20 study tips that you need to know to help you pass your classes, get straight A's, just become a better student. And honestly, I need to listen to some of these, so we will go through this all together. Also, if you guys are not already subscribed to my channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button because I will be doing a lot more back to school videos and summer videos as well. So definitely be sure to subscribe to follow me along and be notified when I post all these new and exciting videos. Yes? Alright, first tip for you is to use a planner. I talked about this planner, the Create 365 Happy Planner, in my last video. It's so much better if you can write down all of your homework, know when your tests are, just be prepared, stay organized. Make it colorful, use a bunch of different colors. I liked to color code mine based off my class. My second tip for you is to keep your desk and locker clean. You're going to work so much better if the spaces around you are clean. That way you have a nice place to work when you come home, and keep your locker clean as well. I'm so guilty of this. My locker will be filled with trash and papers and all the stuff that you don't need. Every Friday, tell yourself that you're just going to take everything you don't need in your locker and throw it away. It's really going to make you feel so much better if everything around you is nice and clean and organized. Yes? Okay. My third tip is a few different helpful apps that really help me out. I love to use the calendar app on my Mac. It really helps me with tests if I don't feel like writing it out, and that way I can keep track of my social calendar and my school calendar and just know how it all is coinciding and everything. I also love the My Homework app. I just Googled homework apps on the App Store and really any of them work, but My Homework was a really good one for me. Another app that I love is Quizlet. I don't know where I would be without Quizlet. It helped me pass Spanish freshman year. And you can look at other people's Quizlets too. My whole grade has a Quizlet class thing and we all share our Quizlets and everything, so it's great. Definitely be sure to check that out. Alright, my fourth tip for you is use Google Docs. If you have people in your class who like to make study guides as well, use a Google Doc. That way you can all contribute and work on it together, especially during exam time. It makes it so much easier. I love to make really colorful outlines with my friends. I've been doing it since 6th grade and I love it. I talked about it in a previous video. I'll have it linked down below. I think that's one of my future tips is to check out that video. My next tip for you is to use a whiteboard. One thing my friends and I would always do is at the end of the day we would go into a classroom and just write down all of our classes and what homework we had for that class. And you can also practice math problems on whiteboards. Best way to practice math problems. And I like to learn Spanish on whiteboards. I don't know if anyone else does that, but I started doing that where I would write out verb conjugations and everything. My sixth tip for you guys is to make a list of all the books you need to bring when you're packing up to go home. Most people will just write down all the homework they have to do, but I find it really easy on the side to write down hey, I need my math textbook and I need to bring The Great Gatsby home. That way you can look in your locker and you just look at the books list. Really, really helpful to just have that type of list so you can just look at your locker, pack up, and go. My next tip for you guys is to keep 2 sets of earbuds or headphones with you. First of all, if you leave one at home one day or you forget it or something happens to it, one's in your locker, one's in your backpack, you'll always have a set of headphones. Also, your friends will love you because you can always lend them a pair of headphones. I don't know how many times people have asked me for headphones and I've always had them. Just make sure you get them back. Alright, so my eighth tip for you guys is to check out my exams study guide video. I think that's what it's called. I still watch it every twice a year when exams are coming up. I'll have it linked down below. Definitely be sure to check it out. I have so many tips and so many people have come up to me saying that it's helpful and everything's still relevant even though it was made 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. Wow. Alright, my next tip for you guys is to use a reward system. I'm pretty sure everyone does this. One thing I would do would be okay, if I finish this page of math, then I can watch 20 minutes of Netflix. Something like that. So helpful. It really got me motivated. It got so bad to the point where it would be you do 1 sentence of Spanish, you watch 2 minutes of Netflix, which is really hard. Not a good idea. That I do not recommend. Alright, my next tip is to color code your notes. I'm really going to start doing this this year because I feel like it's so helpful. If you go on Pinterest, you can find so many tips and everything for just for color coding. Like I could make a whole video on color coding. This will kind of like tie in to my next tip, which I'll just like go into that. Basically, another tip is to rewrite your notes. So what I'm planning on doing this year, I've been meaning to do this, but I've always been too lazy. So in class, you have one notebook and you're like taking all your notes, and like you never know how many bullet points there are or what should go where or anything. Why is my hand so itchy? So you can take one notebook to class, write everything out, then every night take another notebook, and looking at your notes from class, you're able to like color code them and like make them all pretty and fit perfectly on the page. And first of all, you're helping yourself out because you're gonna have these really nice, neat notes that you can look back on. Second of all, you're gonna be reviewing what you did in class that day, which is so helpful. And my mother keeps telling me to do that and I don't listen to her, and I really should. And now you should listen to my mother as well. Grades are really going to thank you. Someone texted me. I think Andrea just caught a Pikachu. Alright, so my next tip for you guys is to have a designated area that you're going to work at. I work at my bed, which is not a good idea, and I'm gonna start working at my desk this year. But go to the library, have a spot in your room, just like have a consistent place where you can work. Alright, my next tip for you guys kind of goes along with the planner thing. Color code your classes. So just beyond color coding your classes in your planner, you should be doing that with your folders and your notebooks and your binders as well. I did that last year. It's so helpful because if you see blue, you think English and you just grab everything that's blue. Alright, my next tip for you guys has really helped me out, but if you can afford it, buy 2 of every textbook. You can usually find a really cheap copy on Amazon, then you don't have to bring it home. And if you forget it, it's not a big deal. It's so much less stressful. Your shoulders are going to thank you instead of carrying all those math and history and science books in your bag. And then you can just go home and they will all be there and you never have to worry about forgetting a book. Alright, my next tip, I love this one. Make a class group chat. Always like talk to people in your class if you have questions instead of texting each person individually. So much better. Definitely this year I'm gonna see if we can do some class group chats, guys, because no one ever tries. I will admit I'm very guilty of never speaking in the class group chat. Alright, my 16th tip for you guys is kind of obvious. Talk to your teachers. I never talk to my teachers because I used to feel like if I had to go to my teacher for help, I wasn't smart enough and I had to prove that I could do it on my own. Going into your teacher for help is so amazing. You don't even have to go into your teacher. You can go to another teacher that teaches the same subject. Alright, my next tip for you guys is to use a separate folder / notebook for your tests. So what I would do is I would take a bunch of white folders and do like 2 subjects per folder for each exam, and I'd keep all my exam materials in there. I'd make a study guide for each exam. So helpful. That way you just like have those folders with you during exam time and you can just bring the folder with you into the exam room, do like some last minute cramming right up until the exam. My next tip is a joke because it's never gonna happen, but I gotta say it anyway. Get a good night's sleep. Pretty sure I have never gotten 9 hours of sleep on a school night. Just between crew and school, does not happen. But I mean, your body's really going to thank you if you get a good night's sleep. Alright, my 19th tip for you guys is to take breaks when you're doing your homework. Don't just sit there and try to knock it all out. Take a break between subjects or between tasks. Get some snacks. There are some really good like healthy snacks like apples and other fruits and just like a bunch of little things that you can grab. Do something that relaxes you. That way you aren't just like totally making your brain shut down. And then my last tip for you guys is to find a person to do these tips with. Whether you have just like your best friend and you two make a pact. If you two are trying to develop these habits together, it's going to be a lot easier. You can find someone for each class. You have a history friend and you guys always try to make sure you get your history homework done on time. Something like that. Just have a support system and I'm sure you are going to have a great school year. Yep, that is it it for today's video. I really hope I helped you guys out, and I hope you all have a wonderful school year. I'm really excited. It's my senior year, last year of high school. What? Do I look like a senior? No, but I'm gonna be a senior. And if you guys are going into senior year, then good luck with your college applications, because same. So I think that is it for today's video. I hope all of you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and maybe even subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see all of you guys next time for my next video.